The idea is simple. You notice a painted wooden box screwed onto the side of a utility pole and open up the lid. If there's something you like inside, take it and leave something of your own in its place. That's the concept behind the Swapbox project. In the last 3 years, hundreds of boxes have sprung up along downtown Ottawa streets without the city's permission. The box's creator is starting to gain worldwide attention for his renegade public art, and an Ottawa filmmaker is even documenting the project. Midweek's Kristen tells us more.
A man rips a handsaw through a piece of plywood in his basement workshop. His street artist name is L. Max. In a couple of hours, a power drill, a splash of red and white paint, and black permanent marker turn this chunk of wood into a swap box. L. Max drills it onto the side of a wooden utility pole on the corner of Elgin and McLaren streets. Jedis Tree Spirit captured this sequence for a short film she's making about L. Max and his Swapbox project.
I'm always really excited by the ideas of having these interactive street pieces, so the fact that this friend of mine came up with this idea was just a really great concept for me to feed off of, I guess, and just get to explore in depth.
Her film won't be the Swapbox project's first brush with fame. Swapbox replicas have sprung up all over the world, and L. Max has inspired an army of local copycats and internet fans. He chats about his art as he checks up on one of his boxes on Bank Street in the Glebe. As Saturday shoppers brush by his tall frame, L. Max's stubbly face leans in to inspect the box. He realizes someone has ripped the lid off of its hinges.
The inside of the lid of the box had some pretty neat artwork. I had a drawing of both Larry O'Brien and the Union President as beasts. Larry O'Brien was Lex Luthor, and Andre Cornelius was Frankenstein's monster, and, laughing like madmen. I painted up the front like the colors of an OC transfer bus, and this was the bus strike swap box.
They're not all politically motivated. L. Max says his main aim is to promote social interaction.
People really walk around in the urban environment with their heads down, not wanting to interact with anything. This street has become basically a thoroughfare in between two different private spaces. A lot of other street artists who've written about similar things have written about wanting to make the urban environment fun again, wanting to allow people to take a fly and leap outside of their comfort zones and perhaps look in a box and see what's in it, and then look what's in their pockets and get interested in the idea of the swap again.
At a metal swap box down the street, someone has added a grape lollipop and an Indian coin. But people passing by don't seem keen to trade their pocket possessions for any of these treasures.
It's an interesting concept, but I'm not sure that in an urban setting that it's something that would go over very well. I think people tend to be suspicious.
It's an effort at building community and interaction in a different way. I think I could consider leaving something, but not so much taking something. It's a good effort, but it looks a little bit too grody. A little bit too much like an ashtray.
But some people are taking up the challenge. L. Max says trinkets placed in other boxes include an unopened bottle of beer, kids' toys, and a whole lot of marijuana. But not everyone is enjoying his social experiment. He's never been charged, but the police arrested him twice while he was drilling boxes into public property. So he's found ways to do his work without getting caught.
I'll work in a variety of disguises. When I go about doing some of these things, sometimes I have some maintenance workers' uniforms and construction uniforms when I'm working in more high-risk locales.
Despite his sneaky ways, L. Max insists he's not a vandal.
I'm not damaging old building facades. I'm doing nothing more, say, intrusive than a poster. I managed to create something that's, pretty all-inclusive. That's fun, that brightens up the urban environment.
Jadis, the filmmaker, seems to think so, too. She entered her 5-minute film into a TV Ontario contest last week. And if she wins the public voting process, watch for her film to air on TVO in the coming months. In Ottawa, I'm Kristen Shane.